Have you ever wished to earn more money without putting much effort? Well, there is a simple way, and it is called compounding, that works by growing your wealth exponentially. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Tanya Anija, and in this episode, we are going to discuss the power of compounding and we'll help you understand this technique with some easy rules of investing. So let's welcome our guest on the show today. We have with us Mr. Rohan Mehta, who is the founder of Total Wealth. Thank you so much, Rohan, for taking the time out and joining us here on Business Today Television. I want to begin by asking you that what are some of the basic steps that can actually help us to benefit from compounding, and if you could explain us the rule of 72, 114 and 144 as well. What are these rules and how to really use them in investing?
Yeah, thank you for having me. See, the eighth wonder of the world is compounding. Everybody who enters into the market comes with a different definitions of the markets, seeing some great examples out of it for a longer period of time. People have
Right.
examples of MRF, Reliance, people have examples of Wipro, Infosys, and that is only possible because of the power of compounding. And compounding is one of the most magical way you earn in markets only because of compounding. The fallacy of the world is that people go into the negative compounding by taking loans for long term, and most of the people, when it's a positive compounding for long term, thinks short term in equity markets, and that's the disparity why the returns doesn't come to the individual, because we feel that we will take a home loan for a longer period of time, but we feel that we will invest for a shorter period of time, and that's why we are not able, most of them are not able to create wealth in the markets. And yeah, compounding is slow, steady, but eventually the things goes high and fast. uh, the biggest problem, or the biggest the problem biggest concern for compounding is that 80% of the time you get only 20% of the returns, and 20% of the time you get 80% of the returns, and that's where the biggest problem comes, and people are not able to understand it. And as you said, the rule of 72 is very interesting. The rule of 72 is 72 114. So 72 is double of your money, 114 is triple of your money, and 144 is four times of your money. So anything, for example, you divide by the expectation of the returns you want from the markets is equal to the number of years you have to stay invested into it. Now it looks very easy. Like for example, when I divide 72 divided by 21% returns I want to expect from the markets, it comes somewhere around 3.5 years. But now it looks very good on the calculator. But there are times where maybe 1 or 2 years you don't get any returns of it. Third year maybe it is flattish, and the fourth year you have a bumping superior returns out of it. Like for example, in last 2 years there has been no returns in equity markets in Indian context, but maybe in next 2 years the returns could be extremely high, which we have not seen in the last 4 years. And that's how compounding return works. So compounding is not only about putting into the calculators by rule of 72 114 and 144, but also looking at the market trends, that every year it's not market will not be able to give you returns. It's mutual funds, it equities, or anything else. When it will give very high returns, and at that time you should not get out of the markets and think that, oh fine, oh I'll book the profits and get out of it. Maybe you see from 2000 to 2010, 2005 to 2007 was the best year to make money, or 2000 from 2010 to 2020, from 2014 to 2016-17 was the best year to make money, and post maybe 2023 to 2026 would be the best year of making money. So it looks onto the map very clear that, okay, fine, every year you get returns, but equity market, it doesn't happen like that. So we have to understand very clearly that compounding has its own ifs and buts. It comes with a huge abundance, and it doesn't come, it stays dry. But at the end of the day, the win of the market and the win of the wealth is only and only possible by compounding. Whatever technique, whatever market dynamics you do, short term, medium term, intraday, whatever you do. So a person who looks forward for compounding, by earning compounding, creates a great wealth, and somebody who gives compounding is at the end of the day a loser.
Okay, absolutely got that. And also, Rohan, can you explain us that how can we use these rules, like rule of 72, 144, and 114, to really compare different kind of investment avenues?
Yeah, it's a very important and very easy rule actually. So, for example, if somebody says that, let us say I want to put it in FD at, for example, let us say 7% of the returns, they would know by, like when my money will get double, and it will show that money that it will take that much of time to get double. And that's very simple thing. Or maybe somebody saying that, okay, I have, let us say, 100 rupees, and I want to have 400 rupees in 100 years. So how much percentage I need to put my money into? Which is the asset class I need to put? It's an asset class of fixed income from 6 to 8% returns. It is an asset class of mutual funds or a gold ETF or an ETF from somewhere around from 10 to 14% returns, or it's equity from 18 to 20 25% return, maybe 18 to 20% return. So the goal, the objective of the investments is equal to the asset class you select, and that's 72, 114, and 144, and then you can have a lot of numbers to look forward for that. But as a human normal, we don't look forward for more than four times of returns. That's how 72, 114, and 144 has been created. So it's as simple as it. So whatever investments you do, it's in gold, buying a gold jewelry, buying a real estate, if you use this number, you will know how much time it will take to double, triple, or four times your money.
Okay, absolutely. And also, Rohan, experts believe that these rules also help us, to make better financial plans. Do you also agree?
Yeah, of course, see, it helps. But I think so this rule is just a calculation. The whole game is on the objective versus the asset class you choose. This is just a calculation. So calculation doesn't give you anything out of it. But yeah, it gives you just a clarity of the numbers what you want to achieve. So at the end of the day, this rules is easy because there are a lot of people who doesn't understand PRN, upon 100, this is the compounding interest. I think that everybody would have learned in the school for sure. But when you put it into the real life, it is hard to calculate, but it is easy. It's a formula, and people like this formula tricks and tips. So it's good into that part of thing. But yeah, for a financial planning, it's a very important decision. But it is for me, it is only the 20% out of it, but the rest 80% is your objective and the asset class you choose because of this.
Okay, absolutely. And lastly, Rohan, are there any other rules apart from the rules that we just mentioned, like apart from 72, 114, and 144? Any other rules or any other, thing that you would like to advise to our viewers at this point in time?
Yeah, I think so. The biggest
Especially
rule is
when it
that,
comes to power of compounding.
yeah, you have to. I don't think so. There is rules, but there are people from last 2 decades. I have seen people not able to get the power of compounding is because we think too much big in short term, and we think too much small in long term. I'll give you an example. When I say my clients that at 25% CAGR in 10 years we will be able to create 10x of wealth, and the client is shocked that, are you saying that every year I'm going to get 100%? If you see on the last 10 year scale, after 10 years, yes. But if you see on year, you are not able to create that 100%. And I'll tell you, if it is 10x in 10 years, in 20 years with this percentage, it goes more than 35 times. So the more you are in the game, the more the multiple folds you create. So now, why I don't understand when I meet a customer or a client or an investor, when everything is extremely clear, why still we go into the fallacy of short-term investing? And that's the way we don't make money into markets, and that's the reason we have seen that only 1% of people are able to compete with the FT returns, and that's just because we don't think long term. And the biggest trade formula, whatever you say, is that when you are investing, when you are seeing a longer term, when you're seeing money, long term comes into the picture, or else your fixed deposits always works for you.
Okay, absolutely. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much, Rohan, for explaining it so well, for sharing all these wonderful insights with us and being with us here on Business Today Television. Thank you. So, with
Welcome.
that, let's wrap up this special episode. But stay tuned for all the latest market updates, and many thanks for watching.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.